Hi guys, 18th App here and welcome to this match preview for Easter Monday's League 2 fixture. It's Doncaster Rovers versus Grimsby Town at the Eco Power Stadium. Let's get this video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview, Doncaster Rovers versus Grimsby Town at the Eco Power Stadium this Easter Monday. I hope you've had a good Easter weekend. We are so close to the end of the season and it's a season that I just want to end pretty quickly. But saying that, I just want to thank each and every one of you who stuck by the channel and continued to support it. It is greatly appreciated. We're over 2,900 subs now, so hopefully if this video has brought you to the channel and you enjoy this content, please click subscribe so you can help us on the way to 3,000 subs. That would be absolutely amazing. If you are new to the channel, this is the format that we go through match previews. We'll look at previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions, and that is not good reading, especially for the Rovers. I choose a Rovers player to say a few words about, and then I give my opinion on the one to watch for Grimsby Town. But as I always say, you know your club much better than what I do, so if you think I've missed the mark and there should be somebody else, get them in the comments down below, please. I like to be educated. And then we finish the video off with three predictions: the predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub, the predictions league table, what me and the family have been doing all season, and then the all important score prediction at the very end. So let's get into this one with previous meetings. Rovers and Grimsby have faced off a total of 47 times in our history, and Grimsby just edging it overall with 20 wins out of the 47. Rovers getting 17 wins, and then we've shared the spoils on 10 occasions. But when we drill down into the more recent 5 fixtures between the two clubs, Rovers do have the edge in this one with 3 wins out of the last 5 and a draw, with Grimsby winning the League Cup game in 2019. So we look back at 2017 in League 2, a great 5-1 victory which kind of led us on to promotion that season. It was a great day, and what a team that was. A long way away from that at the minute as Rovers fans. And then later on in 2017, the league trophy was a 1-1 draw, and then the season after, the league trophy once again, it was a 2-0 win at home for the Rovers. And then, as I say, the one victory for Grimsby in our last 5 was in the League Cup in 2019, August of that year, and a 1-0 home win for them. And then earlier this season, the away fixture, it was a great performance from the Rovers, one of few great performances this season, and it led to a 3-1 victory in that one. So recent history, Rovers have got the edge, but based on recent form, I would say this one is a pretty tough one to call, and this is why. Current form, so it's not great reading for either team, especially the Rovers. No green on that graphic at all. 4 draws and 6 defeats in the 10 games played between Doncaster and Grimsby over our last 5 fixtures each. Rovers defeat, draw, 3 defeats on the bounce, and not really improving performance wise overall. So it's tough for the Rovers fans at the minute. Grimsby on the other hand, 3 draws and then coming into this one on the back of 2 straight defeats. As I said, Rovers winless in 5, and we do have the worst form in the league across the last 10 as well. Positives are hard to come by for us Rovers fans when you're looking at the cold hard facts of what's happened this season, and it's tough. It's going to take a lot of dissecting. One for the summer, a video for the summer if you're wanting to see that, because these previews I like to keep to around 10 minutes and I could go on for some time looking at our season as a whole. Potential positive news though this week is there's an injection of funds from the owners after a period of time where we've generated the playing budget from other means with Club Doncaster. The owners have come out and said that they're going to inject a decent amount of money into the playing budget. I will believe that when I see it. Again, I could do a separate video on that if you guys want to. In the comments down below, let me know if you want to see that, and I'll put one together. They also said in this statement that Danny Schofield is the man to take us forward. For me, the jury's still out with Danny at the minute. It's just very one-dimensional. He's got one way of playing. I believe we've been found out, and that's why our form isn't what it should be. A lot of Rovers fans have already made their minds firmly up on this one, and they want Danny gone and a more experienced manager in to manage that budget and get the right players in and get us moving forward. I find it difficult to judge Danny at the minute because he's not got his own players. I think we've got to give it time, and it opens up a can of worms. Danny Schofield is Copser's man. Where do we finish on sacking people? The full club will be gone before we know it. I think we get somebody who plays a similar style if Danny left. So it's a difficult one to judge, but I'm sure we've all got our own opinions on it. But for me, I think it's a huge summer, and we've just got to try and forget about this season. Moving on to Grimsby, though, a very good season in their first one back in League Two, but last time out they were on the receiving end of a bit of a hammering 4-1 against Hartlepool, but they are fighting for their lives. As I've just said, really solid first season back in League Two, and one that I believe that Grimsby can use as a good foundation to push on next season and progress. I think potentially it's a little bit of an FA Cup hangover in this one after the 5-0 defeat to Premier League Brighton, who are doing exceptionally well at that level this season. So I think the Grimsby fans, club, staff, everybody around the club can be proud of that FA Cup run for sure. Knocking Southampton out on the way, just a great, fantastic FA Cup run. But this one, I think it's probably led to a bit of a hangover with the three draws and 2 defeats since that 5-0 defeat to Brighton. And it's led to this one being a bit of a dead rubber. 2 teams mid-table, no danger of going up, no danger of going down. So yeah, bit of a dead rubber, but the local bragging rights are up for grabs in this one. So hopefully both teams are up for it come 3 p.m. tomorrow. Moving on to player profile for this one, I've gone with Charlie Seaman, 23 years old, right back at Donny, and he's been given a few more opportunities in recent weeks to stake a claim on a first team spot, and I think he's done well with it. I think he's come in, he's had a point to prove, and I think his effort level is what we've been missing across the squad. There's clearly a desire there to play. Still a little rough around the edges on certain things, touch and his final pass, but I think overall he's one of the few players who can hold his head up high over recent weeks in terms of his performance level, and I think he deserves his place in the first team overall. And I think with a better squad around him, I think he'd shine. So it's been nice to see him come back in. It's been nice to see him put that level of effort and performance in there. So hopefully he can continue that level and stay in the first team for a period of time. So Charlie Seaman, I think he's probably our one to watch and could create something tomorrow. Moving on to the opponent's one to watch, I have gone with Gavin Holohan, 31 years old, attacking midfielder, 45 appearances this season, 8 goals, 1 assist. 2 of those goals came in the win over Southampton. So yeah, Gavin Holohan, probably a bit of a cult hero now. He's cemented himself in Grimsby folklore for the 2 goals against Southampton for sure. And I think he's had a point to prove this season with Grimsby back in the league. And he's one of those players who can find those pockets of space just between the opposing's defence and midfield. I think we've got to really be on point tomorrow to keep him quiet. I think any opportunity he gets to thread a ball through or have a pop at goal, he'll take, and I think we could be on the receiving end of a decent performance from him, and probably add to his goal tally of 8 this season. So my one to watch for Grimsby is Gavin Holohan tomorrow. But like I said, you know your club much better than what I do. In the comments down below if there's somebody else us Rovers fans should be watching out for. Moving on to the predicted team lineup, this is thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into, and they're adding more as the time goes by. And for me, this is the predicted team lineup I'm going with. I think Anderson could potentially come back into the squad, so I've got Mitchell in goal, Nelson, Anderson and Faulkner as the back 3, with Seaman on the right and Tommy Rowe on the left. I'm going to go Ben Close and Zane Westbrook in the midfield once again. I think Kyle Hurst will start this time. He was left out of the squad of the starting lineup against Gillingham. I think he'll start with Molyneux on the right, and Goodman is showing what he's about. I think he'll get another start up top on his own, which I do not like. This is the frustration with Danny Schofield, just persistent in one up top and so isolated and needs help. So that's the predicted team lineup I'm going with. I think that's what Danny will generally set up like. It's his style of play. It's frustrating at times, but yeah, that's my predicted team lineup for this fixture. Moving on to the predictions league table. If you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every league game. If we get the scoreline spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome right but not the scoreline, we get 1 point. And if we get it completely wrong, no points. And we got a correct score and 3 correct outcomes against Gillingham. We all went with defeats. Chris went with a 1-0. I think I went with a 2-0. Max went with a 2-1. My dad went with a 3-1 from memory. So it's tightened it up at the top. Max is now on 26 points. Chris is on 25. It's also tightened it up towards the bottom end of the table as well, with Dad on 16 points and me holding the lot up on 14. Absolute shocker of a season. And that leads me on to the final bit of this video, the score prediction. As I said, bragging rights are up for grabs, but it's a little bit of a dead rubber. Two teams coming into this not in great form. I don't think it's going to be a Easter Monday spectacle, to be honest. I'm going with a bit of a cagey, nothing too exciting game. It's what we've come to expect over recent weeks, and I think it'll be two teams playing the season out. I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's a lot more excitement than what I'm going to give it, but I'm going with a 1-1 draw in this one. Doesn't really help each team out, doesn't really matter in the same breath as well. So it's just one of those that's tough to call at the minute. I hope we can get a goal. It's been a while since we've celebrated anything. So I'm going with a 1-1, a little bit of optimism going into this one. We will see. And that's where I'm going to leave this one. Hopefully we're happy come 5 o'clock Easter Monday. If you've enjoyed this, please stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you see me around the ground and you want to be involved in fan sports for tomorrow's vlog, please come and see me and we'll get you on it. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.